Yeah, we've got Brian Wang back here today. And of course, Brian is normally doing all kinds of scientific stuff, but he sometimes likes to get into the economics as well. And, we had Jeff Lutz on here talking a little while ago about the discounts that he sees coming up just this year, maybe another 8% off the price of the average car in the Tesla fleet. Well, Brian's taken that a couple of steps further. Brian, nice to have you on the show again.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll dig into what it could really mean if we can maybe continuously get 2% per month cuts off of the Tesla vehicles.
Okay, so we'll divert over to some Tesla discussion. So this was something that one of the other cyber bulls, the supply chain expert, who's
Jeff Lutz.
Jeff Lutz. Okay, so from the Tesla deck, they said, okay, we reduced the cost, the red bar, to just over $36,300 for the cost of building the average Tesla vehicle. So Jeff Lutz was indicating on a Twitter thread as well as on a YouTube video that he believes that there's still 8 to 10% per year that can be done for several years to remove costs from the Model Y, Model 3, etc. So this is the CFO had answered to them. Well, maybe things will slow down. Maybe they won't get the, $3,000 they removed from Q4 2022 to Q4 2023. Maybe that will slow down. But Jeff, as a supply chain expert, believes that there's more to be had in several years of that. So just projecting forward at about 9%, then you'd get close to $3,300 reduction this year. Just short of $3,000 in 2025, and then $2,700 in 2026. So then you're going from 36, 33, 30, 27, and $1,800 to $1,000. That should be from battery price reductions as LFP and other batteries go down, as we shift more production to the cheaper LFP batteries. So for 2024, 2025, before we get a Model 2 25K, sub 25K car, then ARK Invest discussed the market sizes of these things. And you can see that as we go in between 50 to 25K, that as we go still well above 25K at the 40% market share level, then that's really at about the $32,000 level. So then getting down to, each of those bumps of $3,000, I think the second $3,000 drop in 2025 would really give a huge market share. That if you were to have, $30,000 cost vehicle, and this would be the average vehicles. That means that some vehicles would be at, your lowest price Model 3 or something like that, maybe $27,000. You can get down to $32,000, $30,000, even for a lower end Model 3 or Model Y potentially. So then that would give you potentially 40%, 50% of the market that they could potentially address. Although the full addressable market, you may need to have an inexpensive small pickup or something like that, or some small SUV. Like there's different form factor vehicles that may prevent you from getting the full market share. But it's something where continued cost reductions can get us to the really big jump in total addressable market.
Yeah, and so that this doesn't sound like just something that Jeff pulled out of his hat.
Yeah.
Not only have we seen these price reductions in the past, but as you mentioned, the big portion of this will come out of batteries.
Yeah.
There could be some hiccups in this along the line if we end up with some shortages. like in lithium or in various components, even the manufacturing, could be a situation where there just wasn't enough manufacturing or refining that would raise prices temporarily. But overall, this trend, which has been predicted by Tony Seba.
Yeah.
He has predicted he wrote a book in 2014 where he predicted almost exactly where the cost of batteries would be, lithium-ion batteries would be today.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good thing. We are 10 years out, you get it right. And he's gotten it right consistently. And so just the batteries alone would represent a huge percentage of this decrease. So, and then in addition, you have other things that are very predictable, like the utilization of your plant. So if your vehicle might be costing you $3,000 each in terms of utilization, if you're only making 100,000 in that plant, but now you make 500,000, well, your cost of utilization drops by 80%, because your plant cost is still the same, but you're making 500,000 instead of 100,000. So these kinds of numbers are very predictable. The things that are less predictable, of course, is how you might find ways to eliminate parts, processes, procedures, or find ways to buy raw materials better. Maybe get your labor down by adding robots. These are less predictable, but these are all things that Tesla, of course, has shown themselves to be genius at.
Right. And then the other thing about the chart on the right of the total addressable market is that people in China are willing to accept inferior $15,000, $10,000 vehicles, which can get to the 90%, 95% market share. Right. So, but then the higher end vehicles is where the US is, because the 2/3 are people buy SUVs and trucks. And then the other thing would be that electric vehicles can get below the cost of relatively good used cars, which would then further double the market once you crack below that. And they're right now 24,000 for a 4-year-old vehicle and something like that. So then if I can beat that and beat the cost of ownership on those things, then the addressable market becomes very large. So that persistent reduction of cost gets to the huge markets.
Right. If you happen to be a big fan of the Cybertruck, you might also be interested in this super fun Cybertruck refrigerator magnet and bottle opener. It is made out of super thick stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck, and it has this giant magnet on the back, so it's going to hold a lot of stuff on your refrigerator. It's an amazing gift, and it comes in that great gift box that you saw before that uses a magnet opener, just almost like an Apple box, like when you get Apple products. You can buy it on Amazon for $29.95, or you can buy it direct from me by sending $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. Please indicate whether you want the stainless steel look, or maybe you'd like to have this very clever camo version. And then if you're not in the US, please add $20 for freight. If you'd like more than one, please check the information below to get pricing, as well as all that information I just told you will be repeated in the information below. So once again, think about joining the channel, getting the up-to-date Tesla news every single day. I think you'll be glad you did.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.